Hey everyone, my name is Dr. Khalaf with Acupuncture Fit, and I'm live today with our special guest back again, Hannah Alyward, the gut health expert and coach. Welcome, Hannah. How are you doing?
I'm so good. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, so happy to have you. So today we are going to be talking about 3 tips to transition from summer to fall, and our theme at Acupuncture Fit is how to fall into health, not out of it. And it's very, very, very hard mentally. And that's why I wanted to dive into this topic first to transition from the season of summer to fall. Summer is a season of an increased energy, right?
Totally.
I mean, super vibrant. And what happens is when we transition from summer to fall is so many different things change, where we go kind of from an increase and an outward burst of energy to kind of turning an inward harvest type form of energy, for lack of a better term. Mm-hmm. And what we want to really do is look to goals and reflect on how we make that transition mentally, which is tip number 1.
Yeah, totally. So just like you were saying, summer is such this time of like bright sun, and it's very excitatory, and we're kind of running around and we're balancing work and we're balancing fun. There's lots of fun that happens during summer, right? And then we hit this fall time, and if you think about it, what happens in the environment is these leaves start to fall off the trees and things start to kind of die so they can then be rebirthed. So it's a really wonderful time to kind of pause and take time to reflect on these goals that you've put into place for the year. You know, we don't have too much time left in the year, which is absolutely insane at this point, only a few months. So it's really time to kind of pause, reflect, and think about these things, these goals that you've set, these things that you've called in and made space for at the beginning of the year, and check in and see, are these serving you? How do you want to really like wrap up the end of the year and like tie a bow on it? And what things do you really want to knock out before the end of the year? Kind of, yeah, things like that. My biggest way to do this, like I love journaling. That's kind of my tool that I use to do this. So start to ask yourself some of these questions if this is something that's of interest to you, to really reflect on this. Ask yourself, you know, what are the goals that I set at the beginning of the year? Have I gotten there? What have I, if I haven't achieved those, what have I achieved? And kind of reflect on, you know, we often don't give ourselves enough credit for the things that we have accomplished. So taking a moment to kind of pause and think that through.
Oh, that's so good. A word that really comes to my mind after you telling me that tip of journaling is relief, because as humans, as we progress, there's good circumstances that happen, there's negative circumstances that happen, and just shedding that negativity, right, is the better way that we can birth the good that happens in our life, right, mentally. So getting rid of the negative thoughts and just focusing on the positive thoughts, and really just harvesting the fruits of our labor throughout the whole year, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All really part of a fall theme. And back to, you know, why we're talking about this is it's very difficult. Again, like you'll see physically a lot of different symptoms of diseases surface, right? Flu season increases. Mm-hmm. You got the kiddos back at school. They're passing stuff around. Even weather changes are happening. So that's very, very taxing on the body. And at Acupuncture Fit, I treat patients primarily in the fall time for upper respiratory conditions. What happens in the fall is that it's very taxing on our lungs. And why is fall very taxing on our lungs and we start seeing these symptoms surface is because the lungs are in nature, in a healthy nature, are supposed to remain moist. Summertime is a very damp, it's a very hot season. And as we transition from summer to fall, why it's so hard on the respiratory system and the lungs is that it becomes very dry almost overnight. I mean, it was just the first day of fall, and I already can feel and sense a change in the atmosphere outside in the morning. In the evening, it's starting to get cooler. It becomes more dry, and that dryness is very taxing on the lungs. Now, the lungs need moisture to protect themselves from exogenous pathogenic factors, i.e. weather, from the outside, and there's ways to protect the lungs. One of my favorite ways to protect the lungs is through eating foods that are white in color. And in Chinese medicine, we can relate different colors to assisting different organs. White helps nourish the lungs and keep the lungs moist. Now, the lungs rely on another organ, which is the large intestine, i.e. also the gut, right? And everything associated with that. So literally what I tell patients to focus on is nourishing your lung health and nourishing your gut health. And I'm just so honored to have Hannah here, who's the gut health expert. So physically, talking about nourishing the lung, one of my favorite recipes, and I'll let you maybe dive into some of your tips on the gut.
Totally.
But for lung health is if you take a Bartlett pear, if you cut it in half, it's white in color, right? So white's good for the lung. You could just drizzle that with some honey and sprinkle some cinnamon on there as a nice treat. Bake it in the oven at 350 for I'd say about 20-25 minutes. And that cinnamon honey baked pear mixture is very, very good to keep our lung qi in Chinese medicine. Don't get freaked out. It's pretty much the energy of how our lung functions. Keeping that lung moist, nourished, so it can take on this dry season that it's about to be attacked. So in balancing out the lung, we've got, right, what else? The gut.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And, touching on how you are, that recipe and how you're taking that and kind of baking it, there's a lot of the theory of food energetics really comes into play here as well, because during summer we're interested in things like smoothies and salads and these things that are kind of lighter and cooler, so they're cooling to the body. And it's really important when we transition into fall and then into winter that we're bringing in more of these warming foods. So cinnamon, a super warming spice, baked pears, baked apples, super warming and nourishing to the system as well as the gut, easy to digest, right? So if we're going into a fall season and we're feeling like it's colder outside, it's drier, things like that, and then we're eating these dry, cold foods, it's going to affect our digestion in a negative way, which just helps, toxins accumulate and then not be eliminated properly. So really important to kind of bring in more of these warming foods. I talk a lot about gut supportive foods primarily. So yeah, it's going to be, and this all makes sense, right? Like it's getting cooler, so we want more kind of soothing, warming things like soups and stews and things made in the crock pot and the slow cooker and things like that, baking things, roasting things, and keeping them super easy to digest during this time when our bodies kind of need all the help that they can get.
It's so good. It's all about balance, right? What's going on externally, we need to think about that and look to what's going on internally on the body and kind of help balance that out. So you might also even notice some skin conditions surface. So we see an increase in eczema, scaly skin, dry skin, and the lung manifests on the skin in traditional Chinese medicine. That's our theory. So if we look to healing the gut and healing the large intestine, the lungs, it can really help make our skin more vibrant and lustrous. And there's a big reason why we want to protect the gut, because what percentage of our immune system is made in the gut? What percentage is that?
Yeah, so just about over 70%
Wow.
of the immune system actually resides in the gut. So especially going back to this time where like the kids are back to school and the seasons are changing, the body, like you were saying, it's more vulnerable, right? So we really need to support it better. And with the immune system residing in the gut, most of it there, like we've really got to nourish the gut, because if the gut's inflamed, then the immune system can't really turn on as efficiently as normal.
So good. That's
Yeah.
so good. So we're going to go really from fast flash, and I don't mean fast food, but cooking speeds, flash frying, fast cooking, quick grilling, a lot of, cooling fruits and veggies, to transitioning into what I love you call, it's a hug and harvest type of eating, right?
Yes. Yeah, I love talking about how foods can feel like a hug, because I feel like as humans we really connect with feelings, right, and how things make us feel. That's when they really like embed themselves in the body. That's when we actually remember them. So I love talking about foods that feel like a hug. Like, there's nothing like coming home to a warm bowl of soup or like making a hot mug of tea, right? Everyone resonates with that. It feels really nice. It's super easy to digest. It's really warming and soothing on the system. Yeah.
So an internal hug. Yeah, happy fall, y'all. This has just been so much fun. I want to thank everybody for watching today. I see a lot of comments coming in here. If you have any questions, please shoot us a message on Instagram, Facebook. We'll personally answer them for you. If you like what you're watching and this has resonated with you, please like this, heart this, share with your friends and your family. I have an ebook that I personally wrote with my co-author Dr. David Tuhill on eating right for your body type and how the different elements and seasons and times of Chinese medicine play into what your body type is and figuring out what foods are right for your body type and for what season, especially going in this very taxing season. What do we call it? Fall is spring cleaning 2.0, right? So we're getting ready for that transition. I've got a lot of wonderful information on there, and Hannah has a wonderful program coming up.
I do, yeah. So tomorrow, for anyone that's interested, I'm hosting a free live masterclass, and it's all about my 3-step good gut formula. So I really take you through, walk you on through my process. This is the exact formula that I use with all of my clients, all of my success stories. We break it down into really actionable chunks. We get into it, and I'm gonna be answering questions at the end for about 15 minutes, and you can sign up at we'll have a link to sign up. We'll make sure to post that. Totally free. I love meeting you guys. I love answering questions. So please, if this resonates, come join. It's gonna be fun.
Hey, thank you so much for, hanging out with us at this moment in time. We really appreciate, serving you. So again, please like this, heart this, share it, ask questions, shoot us a DM or a private message on Facebook or Instagram. We'll be more than happy to answer. So again, my name is Dr. Anise Khalaf, and I am joined with Hannah Alyward. Thank you so much for joining us today again.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure.
Have a wonderful day, y'all.
Bye, guys.